Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the new Disney Plus original show, Ironheart, that has aired. The first 3 episodes premiered all at once, and I am going to try to not be a hater here, but I fully understand why they decided to release all 3 of those episodes at once. Let's dive into this, shall we? Marvel Monday! Okay, so I do want to go ahead and say, overall, I'm actually relatively enjoying the show. I think that for the most part, it's a really good time. It has a lot of actors that I really enjoy, so I was expecting to really like this. I mean, Alden Ehrenreich is absolutely fantastic. He's doing great in this show. I'm really loving every moment with him. Anthony Ramos is phenomenal. I personally love Dominique Thornton. I think that her as Ironheart has been really interesting. I loved her in Wakanda Forever. I know a lot of people are like, she feels like, she was just shoved in there. I personally disagree. I think that her inclusion in that movie was really, really good, and I could see her helping out the Wakandans and stuff in the future. Like, I think that she's a good character, and that actress is really entertaining to watch. Eric Andre is in this. I found out about that, like, right before this show came out, so I was, like, really excited about all the actors that were going to be in the show. I was really looking forward to it, and the show comes out, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've been watching them like 1 episode at a time because I'm the kind of person where like I don't like binge watching TV shows unless I absolutely have to. I would rather watch, 1 episode and then, a couple days later watch the next episode and then a couple days later watch the last episode. So that's exactly what I did. The Tuesday it dropped, I watched episode 1. Was not a fan. I was like, oh god, this is going to be really rough. And then I watched episode 2. Once again, not a huge fan of it. It's slightly growing on me a little bit. I feel like there's way too much characters and I'm really having a hard time with connecting with anything that's going on. And then episode 3 comes around and oh my god, it is ramping up and it is doing an absolutely insane job with these characters. So, personally, do I like this show? I'm going to have to say the first 2 episodes, I really was not on board, but the 3rd episode, they absolutely got me. So, personally, to dive into the things that I'm really liking about this show, the heist element is absolutely fun. As somebody who, every time I rank my movies that have ever been made in the MCU, I typically have Ant-Man relatively high up on that list. And part of the reason for that is I like the kind of heist elements where instead of going out and saving a bunch of people and there being a supervillain who's trying to kill a bunch of people, I think it's a lot more interesting when there's a supervillain that is dead set on killing the hero, and then the hero is trying to like steal something from the villain. It almost feels like a game of capture the flag. And I love when a TV show is able to do something like that. So for this show in particular, the first episode, this is the first episode, the second episode. The second episode, they successfully complete a heist, and it's really cool. It goes relatively well. You get some like hints and glimpses as to like what, Anthony Ramos's character as the Hood can do, and he's really cool. I absolutely love it. I think Anthony Ramos is phenomenal, and he feels so menacing in this. The tattoos look incredibly cool. The hood itself looks incredibly cool. Some of the visuals that they're doing with like blacking out his eyes look insanely sick. I think that by the time this show wraps up, this might be one of my favorite villains that they've done on the Disney Plus TV show side of things, because visually he looks absolutely fantastic, and you get an actor who just has so much charisma, and I'm really enjoying it. The threats feel very threatening. There's a lot of tension here, and I really like it because in a lot of Marvel TV shows, a lot of times there doesn't really feel like there's a lot of stakes. Like, at no point does it feel like any of the main characters might potentially die. Riri Williams is spending a lot of time in this show outside of her suit, and it definitely does feel like she could die at any given moment. So, very interesting. We also just saw a superhero kill somebody, which obviously other superheroes have killed people in the past, but like Riri Williams leaving that guy to die at the end of episode 3. Oh, that felt cool. Oh, I liked that. Oh, that was very sick and twisted. I'm really intrigued by that. And honestly, I'm really excited to see like her entire character journey here, because she kind of has herself in a really sticky situation, and I'm wondering if she's going to have to like potentially kill the Hood by the end of this at the end of the show. I don't want that to happen, right? I'm a really big fan of Anthony Ramos. I personally think that Marvel needs to stop killing off all of their villains immediately, but at the same time, she's kind of in a situation where it's like, I think he's going to want to kill her, and she might not have any other choices. So I'm really intrigued to see where they're going with this. I am actually really, really on board with this. And like I said when I first started this video, I understand why they had to release the first 3 episodes. If you ended it at the end of episode 2, where they're kind of like, hyping up that there's going to be this new heist and what they need to do with this new heist, I don't think I would have been all that interested. Like, I think waiting for the next week, I'd be like, yeah, I guess they're gonna do this heist and it's gonna be cool or whatever. But ending it off there, had I binge watched the first 3 episodes, I would have been like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next 3 episodes. What are you talking about? This is insane. Because Anthony Ramos is pissed. His closest family member, who seems to be like the only person who's really keeping him from going off the fucking deep end, just died. And now Mephisto, or whoever he's working for, because they haven't confirmed it yet, just basically revealed part of the reason why he died is because Ironheart did not save him. So this is very intriguing. I'm really intrigued. I'm really liking this. I think this is going to be sick. Overall, I like where the show is going. I really hope we get to see more of Alden Ehrenreich. A lot of people are speculating he's going to become the big villain of this show. I really hope he doesn't. I really think that as of right now, he's a really good person. And I think that Ironheart in the comics tends to kind of be like a legacy character where like she has a little bit of a connection with Tony Stark, so she is ultimately filling that legacy of being the next Iron Man. But in this show, they don't really have an opportunity to do that because she's never interacted with Tony Stark. And I do kind of like the angle that they're taking where like her dad was a really big fan of Tony Stark, so she kind of wants to be the next Iron Man to kind of like make him proud or like honor him, and I think that's kind of cool. But I do think if you can't do the legacy character with Ironheart herself, doing something different with like Obadiah Sane's son becoming somebody who's like the next like Tony Stark almost, but like in like a positive way. He's somebody who's super rich and is using his money for good. I think that that'd be great because Tony Stark, after the first Iron Man movie, became a philanthropist, and I think that that's like a really big part of his character that a lot of people very quickly just kind of like don't talk about. But having another character in the MCU who could do something like that, and it being Alden Ehrenreich's character, would be absolutely fantastic. And I think that he, for the most part, seems like a really good guy, and yeah, he gets his like feathers ruffled a little bit, but the most dangerous thing he's done right now is take a pair of wire cutters to somebody's flowers in their garden. A lot of people are like, he's gonna become like the big bad of this, show, and he's gonna become like, the next Ironmonger. And I'm like, I haven't seen a single thing that makes it seem like that's something that might happen. So we'll see, but as of right now, I think he's going to be a really good character. And another thing that I'm really liking, a lot of people on TikTok, like I said, I did not watch this all at once, but they've been taking out of context, they've been taking the clip where Ironheart says, well, Tony Stark was a billionaire. He wouldn't be able to do these things if he wasn't a billionaire. And I think a lot of people are taking that out of context and being like, oh my god, she's dissing with the smartest man in the world. And oh my god, Tony Stark was able to do this with a box of scraps. And oh my god, Tony Stark was able to do this without a lot of money. And I think that by the end of this show, there's a good opportunity that Ironheart is going to be on that same boat where she's not going to have any money and she's going to have to make herself an Ironheart suit that doesn't have all the fancy tech and gizmos. Because when you look at the trailers, right, they have the original suit, which was the MIT suit, which is well funded, so it's like the nicest suit by far. And then she has the suit that she currently has, which is kind of made with a bunch of scrap metals, and she just kind of put together whatever pieces she could. And it's kind of clunky, but it is still, at the end of the day, a really nice suit with a nice AI in it. And I think that the final suit that she's going to have in this show, based off of the trailers and everything, is probably going to be a suit that's powered by that little piece of cloth that she got from the hood's hood. And I think that she's going to realize that like she could potentially make a suit that is insanely cheaper, because instead of having to use, money and technology to create this suit that's super expensive and flashy, she's going to be able to make something with magic. And I think that it's going to be a way for her to realize that this entire time she's been so stressed out about money, and she's making really, really bad decisions in order to make money so that she can be a superhero. Whereas I think that the lesson that she's going to learn throughout the course of the show is you don't need money to be a superhero. It's going to be a moment very similar to the moment in Spider-Man Homecoming when he's wearing the suit and he yells at Tony Stark and he's just like, I'm nothing without this suit. And Tony's like, well, if you're nothing without that suit, then maybe you shouldn't have it. I think that Ironheart's kind of going to have a moment like that because she's so hellbent on, I need this iron suit to be iconic. But I think she also needs to learn that you can be iconic without having to have some flashy gizmos, some flashy technology. So we'll see. I honestly think it would be really cool though if they do the inverse of the, trope where it's like, here's the first suit and it's really bad, and then here's the second suit and it's a little bit better, and then here's the third suit and it's really good. I think it'd be really cool if they did the inverse of that and the last suit is really bad and kind of scrappy and definitely made from scratch. I think that'd be really cool. But that being said, overall, I'm really loving the show. I'm loving the energy. I think that Chicago is a really cool city. I like the fact that they're doing heist stuff, and I like the fact that they're going dark with some of these sequences. Like, we're watching people die on screen, and it's terrifying. I really like it. I think that Anthony Ramos is very menacing. So overall, I'm really liking the show. I'm very excited to see how these next 3 episodes go. I'm expecting episode 4 and episode 5 to be huge. I'm expecting them to be really good. I've got a feeling that I might actually binge watch all 3 of these episodes when they come out because I'm really loving it. That being said, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching. And if you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Pow.